Ukraine's President Zelensky has said he plans to meet China's leader Xi Jinping to discuss Beijing's proposals on ending the war in Ukraine. He made the comments in a question and answer session in Kyiv to mark the first anniversary of the Russian invasion.
First of all, I am planning to meet with Xi Jinping, and I think it will be beneficial for our countries and for the world's security. Together with China, we have large trade. This is not only about war, we are countries interested in keeping our economic relationships.
One of Vladimir Putin's closest allies, President Lukashenko of Belarus, is to visit China on Tuesday as Beijing tries to present itself as a peacemaker in Ukraine.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused NATO of being an indirect accomplice to crimes committed by Kyiv. He also accused Western powers of working to disintegrate and control Russia. On the ground, the Moscow-backed Wagner Group says its fighters have captured the village of Yagodnoye north of Bakhmut. Fighting has been concentrated around the city for weeks.
Four people have been killed and a dozen injured in a bomb blast in Pakistan's Balochistan. The explosion took place in the Barkhan district when a motorbike laden with explosives blew up in the Rakini Bazaar area. Now, Pakistan's law enforcement agency says several cars, two-wheelers and shops have been damaged in the blast. Security forces have cordoned off the area and the police have begun collecting evidence.
Jordan may need to mediate escalating violence between Palestinian factions and Israel. Today, Jordan is hosting a political security meeting between involved factions, according to Jordanian government officials. Egyptian and United States representatives will also be present. The meeting comes after an Israeli raid in Nablus to capture a terrorist who murdered a policeman ended in a gun battle that left 11 Palestinians dead and anywhere between 80 and 100 others injured. The goal here is building trust between all sides and to gain economic measures to improve the lives of Palestinians.
The Italian Coast Guard says at least 30 people have drowned in a suspected migrant shipwreck. It happened off the eastern coast of Calabria in southern Italy. The Italian Coast Guard said dozens of bodies have washed up on the shore in a seaside resort.
Well, the rescue operation is still ongoing, and we know that the police, Coast Guard and Fire Brigade are among agencies trying to help people who are still in the water. It's reported by Italian news agencies that it's believed a boat that was carrying at least 100 people, some saying up to 180 people, crashed in rough seas, and that bodies have begun washing up onto the beach.
Going nowhere. 320 passengers stuck in a stationary plane for more than 11 hours during an unscheduled landing in Alice Springs. Travellers coming to Melbourne from Thailand and waiting, they say, without fresh air, food or drink or proper communication.
There was a medical emergency for a passenger on the plane, but then after the medical emergency, the pilot realised that there were technical or mechanical difficulties, with the plane.
That meant the faulty 7878 Dreamliner couldn't continue to Melbourne. Accessing and fitting a replacement part would have taken too long. A replacement plane, the better option, but it had to come from Melbourne. Flight JQ30 took off from Bangkok just before 1:30 a.m. Melbourne time, making the emergency landing in the Red Centre at 7:29 a.m. Frustrated passengers stranded on the tarmac for more than 11 hours.
The United Arab Emirates has expressed its plans to buy a dozen Chinese L-15 aircraft as it seeks to bolster its defenses after a series of attacks by the Yemeni rebels. The UAE and Yemen were locked in a 7-year-long war in the Arabian Peninsula. The rebels of the Houthi tribe continue to dominate the government in Yemen's Sana'a. The Houthis fired missiles at Abu Dhabi in January last year, leading to an escalation of the ongoing conflict. Now, according to reports, the UAE Defense Ministry said it intends to sign a contract with China's National Aero Technology Import and Export Corporation to buy at least a dozen L-15 training and light combat aircraft.